Welcome to day 5 of my Chicago Golf's Indoor Golf Challenge. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully you're finding each day educational and helpful for your golf game. Yesterday we talked about how to build a quality backswing and I provided some checkpoints. Today in day 5, I want to talk about transition, how to go from the top of your backswing down to the ball. I'm going to provide some slow motion video analysis of major winners and an LPGA Tour player. I want to talk about why the transition is so important, and I want to give you some ways to practice it in your living room. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's talk transition, and we're talking about transition from the top of your backswing back down to the ball. Such an important part of the golf swing and one that's often overlooked. You could have really good pre-swing fundamentals, have a good foundation. You could have this really nice backswing, but if you're having trouble with how you're moving back down to the ball, you're gonna have trouble with the direction that you're swinging, and you're gonna have trouble controlling the club face. So I just wanna go over the 3 most common transition faults that I see while I give lessons. So let's talk really quick what we want to do first. We want to be able to go up to the top of our backswing, and then we want to turn around our posture. So when we turn around our posture, there's going to be a shift and a rotating of our body, and that's what helps us swing towards the target and control the club face. So the first fault that I see is when players go up to the top of the swing, they'll get a lot of lower body slide. So when we start to get too much slide like this, players will come out of their posture, and at impact, their body isn't open. Their body's actually square, their legs have gotten out in front of it, and then what happens, they'll tend to flip their hands. So they'll hit really high shots, they'll have trouble controlling the low point, and oftentimes they get pushes and hooks. The other issue that I see in transition would be the opposite. I'll see people make this really nice, good backswing, and then they spin. They keep their weight on the back foot. I see a lot of baseball players do this. So they go up to the top and the weight stays on the back foot. The last fault that I see is after someone's made a really good backswing, a common fault is seeing the head start to move forward. I actually start to see the head go out in front of the ball. So really what we need to have a good transition, once we go up to the top, the head is going to stay relatively still. So as we come down, if you're just hitting a standard iron and there was a mirror, your head would be right behind the ball or this stick. You turn up to the top, and as you come down to impact, your head is still going to be behind this stick right here. Okay, so the head is going to stay still. Now, we do want the lower body. We want the weight to shift, but we also want it to open up. So here is too much shift, no opening. Here is opening, no shift. And then here's the proper amount right in here. So let me show you some tour players that demonstrate these concepts. And then I want to give you some drills that you could do in your living room. All right, friends, let's look at some golf swings. Here I have Masters champion Charl Schwartzel. Really nice setup, good grip, ball position. He has the foundation that we talked about in day 1. He's building a really good back, keeping that golf club looking at the ball as it goes back. Things are turning together. And then he's going to get all the way to the top of his swing. And he's in a really good position to come down from there. So here's a few of the concepts. I'm drawing a circle around the head. I'm drawing a line down the spine. And let's draw a box around the legs. And let's look at this first move. How is he coming down? All right. Actually, I want to draw one more line. I'm drawing a line towards the ball. So, the head, as he changes directions, the head stays very still. Okay? The lower body starts to move forward. Okay, so there's a shift. He's not in that box anymore. He has shifted his weight forward. I like to think a left hip over left, and his body's opening. All right? And so he's staying in the shot. We know he's staying in the shot because his head hasn't moved from this yellow line. And that's really important to start the downswing. Weight shift, head stays still, body opens. Let's look at 6-time major champion. We got Nick Faldo over here. 3 Masters, 3 Open championships. And so let's see how he goes about transitioning from the top of his swing coming down. No surprise, really good fundamentals there at the setup. No surprise, really simple takeaway, square club face. So right here's the top of his backswing. All right, and then let's look at the head. The head stays behind that green line over on the right side. He absolutely stays in the shot. His spine is not coming up. And then we see a lower body shift and rotation, okay? Left hip over left ankle, same thing. All right, let's look at another player. Here we have Nelly Korda, Jessica Korda's little sister and current #2 player in the world right now. So, same lines, drawing a box around the legs, line down the spine, circle around the head, and then let's draw that line down to where the ball would be. Okay, these players have good fundamentals, same good club face right there in the takeaway, same good foundation in their setup. They're making their turn. All right, let's see how she transitions from the top of her swing coming down. Same thing, she's going to stay in the shot. There's going to be a shift with her lower body. Okay. She is staying in her posture. Her head is not rising. Okay. And we start to see the head stay still as the lower body shifts and rotates. So let's give you some drills so that way you could do the same thing from your living room. So here are some drills you could do in your living room to help out with your transition. The first one I want to show you, has to deal with the feet. So get set up in your practice station, build your foundation, build that good stance. And what I want you to do when you make your backswing, I want you to gently allow your left heel, your forward foot to rise just a little bit. When you're doing this, we are feeling a shift into our trail side. It's a shift through rotation. I'm not moving off the ball, but I've shifted into that right side. The left heel comes off the ground. Right? Then as you come through, I want the right heel to come off the ground. So it looks like this. Left heel, right heel. Okay? Left heel, right heel. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because it gets our body weight moving in the same direction as the club head. Butch Harmon's very famous for saying that our body weight follows the club head. So what we don't want is for us to go back, our weight's on the front foot, and then us to come through, weight's on the back foot. So you can even start small. Left heel, right heel, left heel, right heel, left heel, right heel. So that's the first drill. And this is especially made for the people that hang out on their back foot in transition. We want that weight going forward. All right. The next drill that I have, we're going to use this chair. And I'm taking this chair and I'm placing it at about a 45-degree angle, and I'm placing it a couple inches, like a hand's width. A couple fingers away from my lead side. All right? And when we do this, okay, I want us to practice, making swings. We're going back, and then when we come down, we're not going to take the chair out. So this is a drill for people that slide too much. And so I want us to kind of feel ourselves go back, turn back, and come through. I want you to feel when you come through, left hip over left ankle. I don't want us sliding so much that our hip gets past our ankle. So then just, again, get into your stance first, couple inches, 45. The reason we have it at 45, it allows you to swing through. If you put the chair right here, your arms will hit it. And so just get used to that. Get used to back, left heel slightly off the ground, right heel off the ground. You could even do it with the club right across your shoulders. Left heel, right heel. We're staying in the shot. As I do this, that's where this stick becomes really important, because this stick gives us a point of reference. You use the mirror, look at yourself in the eyes when you do this. Back, forth, we're staying in the shot. We're transferring our weight, all right? We do not have to go like this to transfer our weight. All right, I got one final drill for you, and it involves using a wall. So let me show you. All right, guys, this final drill, I am standing next to a wall. And what I'm doing, I'm putting my head so it's close to the wall right here, but I have enough room where I can make a shoulder turn. So I want you to cross your arms, put your hands on your shoulders. I want you to put your head next to the wall, and then I want you to do some pivots where we're turning back and turning through. And when we do this, I want this right foot to get up on its toe. And the reason why I want you to do that, it signifies that your weight is on your lead side. And the purpose of this drill, that's for the golfers that get their upper body out in front of the ball. They struggle with longer clubs. They struggle with driver and long irons. So if you pivot correctly, head next to the wall, turn back, turn through, show me your shoe, turn back, turn through. It's a really good drill if you have that tendency to get your upper body out in front of it. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching today. I hope you find these drills helpful. When you're learning this, take your time with it. Although I'm teaching, one day at a time, I'm breaking down each part of the golf swing. I don't expect you to learn it at the pace that I'm teaching it. Really go to day one and make sure that you have that foundation. All this information, it piles on top of itself, but you need that foundation. Make sure you have that good grip and stance, build good backswings, and then you can start to focus on transition. So keep swinging, get that club in your hands, and I'll see you tomorrow.